You know, a lot of people wonder, can Christians lose their salvation? Is it really possible for someone who knew Jesus to just fall back into evil and be lost forever? And when we read the Bible, it can honestly feel like it's saying two different things, like it's contradicting itself. Because on one side, Jesus says in John chapter 10 that no one can snatch his sheep out of his hand. That's a promise that if you truly belong to him, nothing and no one can tear you away from him. And in Philippians 1:6, Paul says God will finish the good work he started in you. Those verses give so much comfort. They show that salvation is not about us holding on to God perfectly, but about God holding on to us. But then on the other side, you read verses like 2 Peter chapter 2 verses 20-22, which talk about people who escape the corruption of the world by knowing Jesus, but then get entangled again in sin. It literally says their last state becomes worse than their first, and it would have been better if they'd never known the way of righteousness at all. And you think, wait, how does that fit with God keeping his people? Well, here's the key that helped me understand this. The Bible isn't contradicting itself. It's actually describing two different kinds of people. First, there are the true saints, people who actually trust Jesus with their hearts. They're not perfect, they stumble, they sin, but deep down, they really want God. They repent when they fall, they keep coming back. And God disciplines them, corrects them, teaches them, but he never abandons them. He keeps them because they truly belong to him. Then there's the second group, people who get enlightened. They hear the truth. Maybe they even experience some changes in their life. Maybe they go to church, maybe they say the right words, but in their hearts they never fully surrender to Jesus. And sometimes they use what they know about God to manipulate or exploit other people. That's exactly what happened with Balaam. Think about Balaam's story. He literally heard God's voice, he prophesied, he blessed Israel, but he also loved money and power more than God's will. He sold out Israel by showing their enemies how to lead them into sexual sin and idolatry. Peter and Jude both call out Balaam as the classic example of someone who knew the truth but chose evil anyway. So when Peter talks about people who knew the way of righteousness but went back to corruption, it doesn't mean God lost them. It means they never truly surrendered. They turned back because their hearts weren't changed, just like the dog returning to its vomit or the pig going back to the mud. This is why Jesus says in Matthew 7, "Many will say to me on that day, 'Lord, Lord, did we not do all these amazing things in your name?' But he will say, 'I never knew you.'" Notice he doesn't say, "I knew you once, then forgot you." He says, "I never knew you." They looked like believers, but they never really gave him their hearts. So what does this mean for you and me? It means if you really love Jesus, if you're trusting him, even if you're weak, even if you're struggling, God's got you. He's not going to drop you because you messed up. His grace is enough to keep you. But if you only know the words, or you're just going through the motions, or you think you can use God for your own gain like Balaam did, then those warnings in the Bible are for you. They're not there to scare true believers, but to wake up people who are playing games with God. That's why salvation isn't just a moment where you say a prayer. It's a relationship. It's a life that keeps turning back to Jesus day after day. And it's only by God's grace that we stay faithful and finish the race. So can Christians lose salvation? If you truly belong to Jesus, nothing can snatch you from his hand. But if you reject him, if you only look enlightened but turn your back on him completely, then you show your heart was never truly his. That's the tension the Bible shows us. The absolute security of those who trust in Jesus, and the real danger for those who only pretend.